They have the numbers, we the heights. My epigraph is from Thucydides, and is spoken by the Spartan commander at Thermopylae. Culturally, we are at Thermopylae, the multiculturalists, the hordes of camp followers afflicted by the French diseases, the mock feminists, the commissars, the gender and power freaks, the hosts of new historicists and old materialists, all stand below us. They will surge up, and we may be overcome. Our universities are already travesties, and our journalists parody our professors of cultural studies. For just a little while longer, we hold the heights, the realm of the aesthetic. There are still authentic poems being written in the United States. Elizabeth Bishop, May Swenson, and James Merrill are all gone, but two great poets remain in John Ashbery and A.R. Ammons, and there are a score of contemporaries, almost of their eminence. The 1996 anthology is one of the provocations for this introduction, since it seems to me a monumental representation of the enemies of the aesthetic who are in the act of overwhelming us. It is of a badness not to be believed, because it follows the criteria now operative. What matters most are the race, gender, sexual orientation, ethnic origin, and the political purpose of the would-be poet. I ardently wish that I were being hyperbolical, but in fact I am exercising restraint. Very difficult for a lifelong aesthete of the age of 67. One cannot expect every attempt at poetry to rival Chaucer and Shakespeare, Milton and Wordsworth, Whitman and Dickinson, Wallace Stevens and Hart Crane. But those poets and their peers set the measure. Any who aspire to poetry must keep such exemplars always in mind. Sincerity, as the divine Oscar Wilde assured us, is not nearly enough to generate a poem. How could this have happened? The last 30 years of intellectual decline provide the answer. Cultural guilt. Enthusiastic young men and women, and some of their middle-aged gurus, rushed forth in a great awakening of rock religion in the closing years of the 1960s. Their immediate provocation was the obscene American slaughter of the Vietnamese, but the Saturnalia that reigned for a few years, from Tokyo to Paris, quickly transcended the occasion. The epiphenomenon of the revival went by soon enough, but it was clear to discerning spirits in 1968 and 1970 that the consequences, though minimal for our capitalist society's ruling powers, would be endless for any cognitive and aesthetic activities throughout the Western world. Robber barons, in all countries, were immune from the contamination of the new enthusiasm. Nothing has changed, except perhaps for the worse in our political and economic life. The change, all but catastrophic, instead afflicted our intellectual, cultural, educational, and aesthetic spheres in a kind of creation fall. Robert Hughes has termed what was born the culture of complaint, whose hucksters, academic, journalistic, pseudo-artistic, I've named the school of resentment, a rabblement of lemmings leaping off the cliffs into the waters of oblivion. Perhaps none of this matters, since good poems continue to be written, printed, and sometimes even read. Whether well or not, few seem to care. Yet it will matter to some people, as once it did, when we went to the poets to make our souls, as Yeats said.
Bah. Like, subscribe, notification bell, join the herd.